Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today I'm going to be going over some Roast Master X footage. I'm playing Boomkin Rogue, Resto Shaman from the Rogue point of view, and I'm going to be going over our win conditions and our kill conditions here. Our first match is against a Feral Druid, a Fire Mage, and a Holy Paladin here on Tolvaron Arena. Once again, I'm going to be starting stealth. I'm going to be going for CCs on the pallies with those kidney shots, with those saps, with the cyclones, with the root beams. We are not in voice, okay, so we're not using Discord or Skype. We're just having some fun games off of voice right away. And the first thing I want to mention here in this game is I have sap 1 2 3 macros, and I was spamming my sap 1 2 3 to see if I could catch the feral or the mage as soon as the mage came out. Boom, it paid off. We get that sap onto the mage right off the bat before he got himself in combat. So what can the mage do to prevent this? The mage can open with a spell steal or a fire blast to get himself into combat before that's like he came out, I think, casting maybe a polymorph, right? So he wasn't in combat as he's casting the polymorph. He would only get in combat once he casted a spell, a harmful spell on the enemy, right? So switch the sap over to the pally, throw the cheap shots onto the mage here. The mage is playing orc, but he is not relentless, so he does that trinket temp shield right off the bat. Perfect opener from him, using that trinket temp defensively, but we are also pushing onto him, trying to get some more defensive cooldowns with that root beam onto the paladin, into that cyclone onto the paladin, trying to hold my kick here onto the mage. Mage gets very low. The cauterized procs, mage has to use that defensive cooldown, but the pally also trinket and sack. So it's trinket. Let's just look at this open real quick. Trinket sack from paladin, trinket temp from the mage, and cauterized proc from the mage. That's way too many defensive cooldowns if you think about it from their point of view. So what they could have done is just the pally could have just trinket sacked the mage right away, or the mage could have trinket temped and then tried to throw out a dragon's breath and tried to spam CCs, or the feral could have done a better job peeling, because that's way too many defensive cooldowns. So we're in a great position this far into the game to really just set up a kill within the next few setups. Paladin has bubble, that's okay. Mage has ice block, that's okay, and that's it. They have nothing else besides that. They are playing horde as well, so no human trinkets to deal with either. So this game's looking great. Now it's their turn, right? Mage is popping combustion over here. Paladin's in that kidney shot. I decided to dance on the paladin with that kidney shot because he has that sack. He's taking bonus damage, but he pops the wall. Probably not going to get too much. But if we do force a bubble, it's fantastic. But it doesn't look like it. Feral and the mage are connecting, and my shaman is actually in that full polymorph as well. So this is a time where I could play a little bit more defensive. I could maybe stun the Feral Druid. Oh, Roast Master X stunning the Feral Druid. Perfect time to peel here. We have the Cyclone on the mage. We have that stun onto that Feral Druid. Nice cross EC, and we're really just peeling until our next go. The pally comes off kidney DR in 12 now, so going pally was kind of maybe a mistake in general. We have the Hex or Sap DR coming off in 3, Cyclone DR is coming off in a few seconds, and my shaman's just about out of CC. Hammer of Justice ending. He already sapped those polymorphs. Now we can go offensive pretty soon here. Could do a bomb go onto the mage as I'm kind of looking at this. Mage is separated from the pally. He's 20 yards away. I have that smoke bomb available. I have the dance and the symbols. Don't have Cold Blood or Gormaz, but I still could do a good amount of damage with either a kidney in 8 seconds or just triple cheap shot, throwing the smoke bomb, coordinate that with my druid, tons of burst. It's going to either force his ice block or something like that if we wanted to. Not necessarily what we have to do, but definitely an option there. Cyclone comes out on the pally, cheap shot, smoke bomb coming out onto the mage. This is a great play here because the pally so far, he's actually out of combat as well because that Cyclone was 6 seconds long and he dropped combat. So as the pally runs in, boom, we throw the sap out onto him. We got that full sap now onto the paladin. Mage has to go into that ice block. If we can get any follow-ups, you see, could be pally's bubble as well. We go out that half blind, very questionable, but we baited it long enough to go into that full kidney shot. Pally bop and sacks the mage. So now, guys, that was bop from the pally, putting him on 4 burns. He cannot bubble for a little bit longer. That's a second sack from the pally coming out. That's the mage's temp shield and the mage's ice block. They still have no trinkets. This next setup, we should just win the game, or if we continue CCing, we could just win pretty soon, shortly. Feral Druid spreading pressure, polymorphs onto my shaman. This is when I can stun the Feral Druid for the off stun DRs. Guys, once you learn how to play Arena, it's very, very scripted. It's very basic. I'm stunning the Feral Druid when my shaman CC'd and my druid needs help. The Feral Druid is the off target. I'm stunning the paladin with the kidney shots when we're doing burst onto the mage. I'm stunning the mage when we're doing a burst when we have CC on the paladin. It's very, once you kind of get used to it, it's just very easy. It doesn't change once you learn the script, right? So any of you guys watching this video can definitely learn how to do this. It just takes a little bit of practice, right? So that full root beam's on the Paladin now. He has no way to get out. He's 4 burns up in a little bit for that bubble. The kidney shot now comes out onto the mage. I don't know if he's going to die here. I don't have a Shadow Dance available. We can play it to find out. The kidney shot was also either DR'd. I might have messed up my DR, or that might have been a bad kidney shot with only like 2 combo points or something like that. But the Gormaz connects, Full Mooner, a ton of damage from my Boomkin connects, and the mage goes down anyway. Paladin just in a little bit CC. So that was a good game there. Couple nice plays, but the main thing I really want you guys to focus on is just, you know, how basic this script is once you actually get enough games under your belt and understand, okay, we're stunning the Feral Druid at this point, we're stunning the Mage at this point, we're stunning the Pally at this point, this is my damage rotation, this is how I'm bursting, this is the kind of the script, and you learn that, and then boom, all of a sudden it's not, you know, not too difficult once you really break down the games, and that's what I really want to do for you guys. Here's the damage breakdown, nothing too surprising there. Mage maybe a little bit low on damage, but we are training him really, really hard that game, so let's hop into another one. Alright guys, here we are in another game, Dalaran Arena, this time Affliction, Shadow Priest, Resto Shaman. Difficult matchup for us. We have lost, and I do have my eye tracker on in this game. You'll be able to see it here when I'm gates open. I'm looking at my screen. So right away, guys, right away, what did my eye tracker do? It looks at the you know, the priest, the shaman, the warlock, looking at buffs, debuffs, looking at who has Earth Shield, looking at if they're human, if they're orc, if they're relentless, trinket choices, all those type of things right as the gates open, right? Very, very common for me to do. They root me out, so that's not the greatest thing right there. But right off the bat, we're doing a very basic opener. Like I tell you guys, Mark for Death, Kidney Shaman. Okay, Mark for Death, Kidney the Healer. Cheap Shot the Priest. Little bit, you know, jumped the gun a little bit here on this opener. I went without my Boomkin or my Shaman. They're both over here. Could have waited just a little bit. I got rooted out, and I was probably like, oh, come on. So I just vanished through it and instantly opened. So that's something, if I waited a little bit longer, my Druid would have had a chance to get in here, burst harder with me. But I get the triple cheap shot, looks like, onto the Priest here. Actually, that Howl comes out, so only that double cheap shot. Step kick the Shadow Priest. Definitely don't want those VTs going out too much. Throwing out the blind onto the Shaman, and he trinkets it immediately. So he swaps the Earth Shield and Earthen Totem. So just a critique of the Shaman. What he could have done is kept the Earth Shield onto himself and then just Earthen Shield the Priest, or sat the blind and had the Priest disperse. But the fact that the Shaman trinketed and swapped Earth Shield means the Shaman's opening himself up to a swap onto himself, right? So he could have probably just kept Earth Shield onto himself, or sat the blind. So, but right now he has no trinket and no Earth Shield, making the Shaman a perfect swap target coming up soon here. So I don't know if he notices that, but I put that pre-Nightblade up onto the Shaman. He swaps Earth Shield back, so that's good. Good for him, because now the stun DR is off. So now we're going to kidney the Shaman and go back onto the Priest. Here's the thing here, guys. We're going Shaman and we're going Priest. We're swapping between the two. If we're always going to hit the target with no Earth Shield. So the Shaman has Earth Shield. We're going to kidney shot him. If he didn't have Earth Shield right here and the Earth Shield is still on the Priest, we just kidney shot him and hit the Shaman. Since he has no Earth Shield, we're going to kidney shot the Shaman, move over here onto the Priest, and then dance onto the Priest, right? And then hopefully we'll get some follow CC out onto the Shaman. There's the root beam onto the Shaman. Priest is taking some damage. We got the human trinket from the Shaman. We got the trinket, or the human trinket from the Priest, and we got the trinket from the Shaman so far. We're trying to just go through more of their defensive cooldowns. If we could get a dispersion, that'd be great. Full Cyclone on the Shaman. There's a dispersion on the Priest. Now we Cyclone the dispersion so we can't get healed. Beautiful Cyclones here coming out from my Boomkin Druid this game. And we're not hitting the Warlock too much. I can throw off stuns and off kicks occasionally, but I think mainly I want to kick Vampiric Touches and kick Massive Spells. So we do as frequently as we can, rather. We want to throw the Cyclones and the Control onto the Warlock, and that's something that I could probably do better on, is just throwing the off Cheap Shot, off Blood Elf Silence, you know, here and there on the Warlock to keep the pressure under control. Now, the Shadow Priest has Earth Shield, but we got it on the 2 stacks, and then I bomb. So by the time I actually throw out the stun, it's going to be at a 1-stack Earth Shield. This is another option you can do. You never really want to hit in the Earth Shield, but if it has like 1 stack left at the start of your burst, you can throw the full kidney shot bomb, hit off the Earth Shield 1 stack, and then boom, he has no Earth Shield. He's in the smoke bomb, and it's going to be very scary. So we actually do that, throw out the kidney shot. He doesn't have a trinket for another second. Earth Shield falls. Shaman runs in. I cheap shot him, re-cheap shot the Priest. Let's see if there's any more CC into that full Cyclone. It's probably going to be life swap. So there's the life swap. I don't mind that go at all. The Priest didn't have trinket for like another second or two, so we kind of got caught with his pants down in that kidney shot smoke bomb with 0-stack Earth Shield. But we do get life swaps. Now we have the trinket and the human trinket from the Priest. We have that dispersion. We have the trinket from the Shaman, and we have life swap. What do they have left? They have Spirit Link Totem and maybe some Hellstones. That's about it. The dispersion is a very short cooldown, so they could have that coming back up soon. And the Spirit Link is kind of a non-factor because if we CC the Shaman, he won't be able to use the Spirit Link because he has no Trinket, right? Because he trinketed the blind. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. However, right now is the time in the game where we are all 10% life because they have a lot of spread pressure with that Affliction Warlock going ham, with that Shadow Priest going ham. So hats off to my Shaman for keeping us alive, this far into the game. Shaman, no Earth Shield, no Trinket, actually throw out a kick onto him, and I could go with that full kidney shot. So here it is. Shaman's 86% life, no Earth Shield, full Shadow Dance, have Cold Blood, Gorma, Symbols, Dance. He's in a lot of trouble. However, the Cyclone onto my Boomkin, it must have been the Spell Reflect. Yeah, Spell Reflect here from the Warlock. Just at the wrong time right there, because if that Cyclone was on the Warlock, we'd connect a little bit damage. The Shaman probably would have died here. We're going to get the Shaman probably very low, but I'm guessing he's going to survive since there's no support really from the Boomkin. Triple cheap shots, 9% life, and he barely, I think that was the Hellstone or the Spirit Link. I didn't quite see there. It looks like, I still couldn't quite see there. I think that might have been the Spirit Link though. So the enemy team doesn't have much left. Shadow Priest getting his dispersion back. We get that full root beam onto the Shaman. Uses that stone form racial to get out of it though. We get that full cyclone onto him now. So the Priest is still in a ton of trouble. Throwing out these triple cheap shots now onto the Priest. Should be a dispersion again. And there's the disperse. Now they have nothing at all for another, I guess, 15 seconds. Maybe when the Shaman has his trinket back up. I actually think it might be in 7 seconds because it was paired up with blind. But he can't use it for 15 because the stone form racial overlaps the cooldown. Priest has no swap, no disperse, no trinket. So we have basically one more diminishing return to win this game if we survive. I don't have Cloak of Shadows. I'm at 2% life. Our Spirit Link comes out. Once again, my Shaman's doing an incredible job of keeping us alive here. There's that Mind Bomb coming out onto my Shaman. I'm spamming those feints whenever I can, trying to get enough energy for those Crimson Vials. Line of sighting as much as possible. Throw out the Vanish, and we don't have any much more time to spare. Throw out the full blind onto the Shaman. Throw out the cheap shot onto the Warlock, and that's something I could do more. Just those off cheap shots on the Warlock to control this pressure. So that was a good cheap shot there, but I need to do it more throughout the game. Criticism of my own gameplay. There's the kidney shot coming out onto the Priest now. The Shaman does trinket the blind, so that opens up him for a swap. This Priest definitely in trouble as well if we can get more CC on the Shaman and just kill him with like a 1-stack Earth Shield, something like that, like as we were talking about earlier. Trying to pressure the Shaman a little bit more. He swaps Earth Shield, so now I can just full kidney shot the Shaman and swap over to the Priest. That's what we'd want to do. My phone just fell out of my pocket, but this game is so intense. Kidney shot the Shaman. I want some off stuns. There we go. Once again, off stun onto that Warlock. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see there. The full root beam following the kidney shot. Now step cheap here onto the Shadow Priest. He human trinkets. He falls down, but so much damage connecting. There's the Gormaz. The Priest really should go down here. The Shaman does actually get out of that CC, that half cheap shot into that Blood Elf Silence, into the Hex and Cyclone overlap, but I think the overlap isn't going to matter at this point. The Priest is probably going to fall. I was looking for maybe a half step off that, but the Priest finally goes down. So a couple things these games. That was an insane game. We went to 5% life a couple times. I actually went to 2% life there for a little bit, so that was definitely pretty scary. But we were just swapping off the Earth Shield onto the Shaman and the Priest. Priest is our main target most of the times, and that Smoke Bomb go is pretty good. Got a couple nice CC chains there, and really just a great job for my Shaman keeping us all alive for that long. But the main thing that I could focus on is when I'm doing my Vanish setups, when I'm doing my kidney, kidney on the Shaman, and then if I do a Vanish or a Dance Go, stunning that Warlock. That off stun is definitely very, very important. As you can see my eye tracker here, we're looking at the MMR on the bottom right hand corner. That's pretty funny. But here's the damage breakdown. They're destroying us in damage because that's kind of what they do with Shadow Priest Affliction. Really, the damage went really out of hand, so that's what we could do better. But we came out ahead eventually with all of those setups. Guys, if you enjoyed this video of the breakdown of Roast Master X gameplay, make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you want more of this kind of stuff. If you did not like this video, make sure to thumbs it down so I know to not upload more of this stuff. Guys, talk to me down below in the comments for what type of videos you guys want to see in the future. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.